Your stepbrother needs it more, Dad said about my $50,000 college fund, sliding the withdrawal papers across his mahogany desk like he was discussing the weather. You can take loans like everyone else. I nodded, pulled out my phone, and forwarded one email to Grandpa. The email where Dad had sworn on my dead mother's grave that my college money would never be touched, and watched his face change as his phone buzzed, because next week's inheritance meeting was about to become very, very different. The home office that had terrified me as a child suddenly felt small. Dad's awards and degrees lined the walls like shields, but they couldn't protect him from what was coming. My stepbrother Ethan sat in the corner, laptop open, probably working on his revolutionary app that was definitely going to be the next Uber. For dogs. Or was it the next Airbnb? For storage units? The pitch changed weekly. Layla, don't be dramatic, Dad continued, mistaking my silence for shock rather than strategy. Ethan's startup has real potential. This is an investment in the family's future. Whose family? I asked quietly, saving screenshots of my bank account showing the education trust my mother had set up before she died. The one Dad had promised to protect. The one he'd just emptied for his new son. Don't start with that, Linda, my stepmother, interjected from the doorway. We're all family here. Your mother would understand. My mother? I laughed, but it came out sharp. My mother who specifically set up that fund when she was dying of cancer? Who made you promise? Circumstances change. Dad cut me off. Ethan needs. Ethan has burned through $200,000 of your money already. I kept my voice steady, though my hands shook. His last 3 startups failed. But sure, take my dead mother's last gift to me and throw it into another black hole. Ethan finally looked up from his laptop, his face flushed. Those weren't failures, they were learning experiences. And this time is different? I finished. Like the fitness app that was supposed to revolutionize exercise? Or the social media platform for pets? Or the, blockchain for farmers? You wouldn't understand, he muttered. You're not an entrepreneur. No, I agreed. I'm just a straight A student who got into MIT. But apparently, actual achievement means less than potential failure. Dad's jaw tightened. That's enough. The decision is made. The money has already been transferred to Ethan's business account. All of it. My voice cracked for the first time. We left $5,000, Linda said magnanimously. For books and things. Books and things. My entire future reduced to things. Thank you for letting me know, I said, standing. I assume you'll want me to move out of the dorm since you won't be paying for it? Don't be ridiculous, Dad said. Take out loans. Everyone does it. I had loans. You also had parents who didn't steal your college fund, I pointed out. His face darkened. No one stole anything. That money was family money, and I decided how to best use it for the family. Right. I picked up my bag, the email to Grandpa already sent and received. Family money. Family decisions. Got it. Where are you going? Linda asked. Dinner's in an hour. To figure out how to pay for MIT on $5,000 and good intentions. I paused at the door. By the way, Dad, when's that inheritance meeting Grandpa mentioned? Next Tuesday. The way his face paled told me the email had landed. What inheritance meeting? The one where Grandpa distributes Grandma's estate? He texted me about it last week. Said he wanted all the grandchildren there. I smiled innocently. I'm sure it's nothing important. I left before he could respond, but not before I heard Linda's sharp, "What inheritance meeting, Richard?" The drive to Grandpa's house took 2 hours, but I needed every minute to calm down. The email I'd forwarded was dated 3 years ago, right after Mom's funeral. Dad had been desperate then, worried Grandpa would cut him off for remarrying so quickly. He'd sworn in writing that Mom's money, all of it, would go to me. That he'd protect it from any future complications. That he understood it was sacred, untouchable, my mother's final act of love. Grandpa had saved that email. Because Grandpa saved everything. Layla Bird, Grandpa said when I knocked, using Mom's nickname for me. Figured you'd be coming by. You got my email? I got more than that. He led me to his study, where a stack of papers sat on his desk. Been doing some digging since your message. Interesting stuff. Grandpa, your grandmother left very specific instructions about her estate, he continued. Especially regarding education funds for grandchildren. She was big on education, your grandma. Came from nothing, made something of herself. Wanted to make sure every grandchild had the same chance. Dad said there wasn't much left. That most of it went to medical bills. Grandpa snorted. Your father says a lot of things. Like when he promised to protect your mother's money. Like when he swore Linda was temporary. Like when he said Ethan's failures were just bad luck. You know about Ethan's startups? I know your father has been funding them. He pulled out a folder. What I didn't know was where that funding came from. Until now. My stomach dropped. He didn't. Not from me. I'm not that stupid. Grandpa's eyes were sharp behind his glasses. But your college fund wasn't the first trust he's raided. Your cousin Jeremy's was emptied 2 years ago. Family emergency, your father said. Jeremy's parents were too proud to tell me until last month. How much? 30,000. Plus your 50. He leaned back. Plus some creative accounting with his company that I'm still untangling. Your stepbrother has expensive taste in failure. What are you going to do? Me. Grandpa smiled, but it wasn't warm. Nothing. But your grandmother, well, she planned for this. Thought one of her children might get grabby. So she set conditions. He handed me a document. The legal language was dense, but one paragraph was highlighted. Any beneficiary who misappropriates, misdirects, or otherwise violates fiduciary duty regarding family funds forfeits their inheritance rights, with their portion being redistributed among remaining eligible beneficiaries. Dad violated fiduciary duty when he took my college fund, I said slowly. And Jeremy's. And possibly others I'm still investigating. Grandpa nodded. Your grandmother was many things, but naive wasn't one of them. She knew your father's weaknesses. How much would he lose? His portion? About $2 million. Plus the family company shares, the vacation house, and his seat on the board. I sat down hard. $2 million. Would have been more, but the medical bills were real. Still, enough to make him comfortable for life. Or to fund a dozen failed startups, I suppose. He doesn't know about the conditions? Oh, he knows. He just thought I didn't have proof. Thought family loyalty would keep everyone quiet. Grandpa's smile turned predatory. He thought wrong. My phone buzzed. Dad, of course. Then Linda. Then Ethan. I turned it off. I don't want his money, I said quietly. I just wanted mine. The money Mom left me. I know, sweetheart. His voice gentled. But actions have consequences. And your father has been playing with other people's futures for too long. What about Ethan? He'll blame me. Ethan's a grown man with an MBA who convinced his stepfather to steal from children. Let him blame whoever he wants. Grandpa stood. The meeting's Tuesday. Your father will have a chance to explain himself. Though I doubt his explanation will change anything. He'll say he was investing in the family's future. At the expense of your future. And Jeremy's. And who knows who else. He shook his head. Your grandmother would be spinning in her grave. I stayed for dinner. Grandpa made his famous spaghetti, and we talked about everything except the inheritance. About Mom, about school, about my MIT acceptance that now felt like a cruel joke. You'll go, he said firmly. One way or another you'll go. With what money? We'll figure it out. Loans if necessary. But you're not giving up MIT because your father's an ass. I laughed despite everything. Grandpa rarely cursed. He wasn't always like this, I said. Before Mom got sick, before Linda. Yes, he was. Grandpa's voice was firm. He was just better at hiding it. Your mother saw the best in him, kept him in check. Without her. He shrugged. People show you who they really are when they think no one's watching. Tuesday came faster than expected. The lawyer's office was sterile, all glass and chrome and uncomfortable chairs. Dad arrived with Linda, both dressed like they were attending a formal dinner. Ethan wasn't there, probably thought it didn't concern him. Jeremy was there, though. And his parents. And 3 other cousins I hadn't expected. What is this? Dad demanded. Some kind of ambush? It's a family meeting, Grandpa said calmly. To discuss your mother's estate and some irregularities that have come to light. The lawyer, Ms. Patterson, laid out everything with clinical precision. The trusts that had been emptied. The forged signatures. The redirected funds. The paper trail that led from 5 different family accounts to Ethan's failed ventures. That's ridiculous, Dad blustered. I've been helping family members in need. Investing in your stepson, Uncle Marcus cut in. With money meant for our children's education. It was temporary. I was going to pay it back. When? Jeremy's mother asked. When his app finally succeeded. Which app, Richard? The 14th? The 15th? Dad looked around the room, searching for allies. He found none. This is Layla's doing, Linda said suddenly. She's poisoned you all against us because she's jealous of Ethan's success. What success? I asked. Name one successful venture. One profitable quarter. One investor who wasn't related to him by marriage. Silence. I tried to help him, Dad said weakly. He's my son now. I had to. He's not your son, Jeremy said quietly. He's a 28-year-old man who convinced you to steal from your actual family. And you let him. Ms. Patterson cleared her throat. According to Mrs. Harrison's will, the misappropriation of family funds constitutes a breach of fiduciary duty. Mr. Harrison, you have forfeited your inheritance rights. You can't do this. Dad's face had gone gray. That money is mine. I'm her son. You were her son, Grandpa corrected. You're also a thief. And those chickens have come home to roost. The rest was legal formalities. Dad's portion would be divided among the grandchildren he'd stolen from. The family company shares would go to Uncle Marcus. The vacation house to Aunt Sarah. His board seat to Jeremy. What about me? Linda demanded. What about Ethan? We're family too. No, Grandpa said simply. You're not. They left amid threats of lawsuits and claims of elder abuse. But the paper trail was clear, the evidence overwhelming. Dad had stolen from his own children, and now he'd lost everything. How do you feel? Jeremy asked as we walked out together. Honestly? Sad. I meant it. I wanted him to choose me. Just once. To put me first the way Mom would have. Yeah, he said. I get that. My phone rang. MIT financial aid. I almost didn't answer. Miss Harrison? We've received an unusual donation designated specifically for your tuition. Full ride all 4 years plus living expenses. I stopped walking. From who? The donor wishes to remain anonymous, but they said to tell you. Your grandmother would be proud. I looked back at the lawyer's office, where Grandpa was still visible through the windows, talking with Ms. Patterson. Thank you, I whispered to the phone to Grandpa to Grandma's memory. Thank you. Ethan's startup failed 6 months later. Dad took a job at Uncle Marcus's company, not as an executive, but in middle management. Linda left him within a year, moving on to someone with deeper pockets and fewer children to support. I graduated from MIT with honors, debt-free thanks to Grandpa and Grandma's final gift. At my graduation, Dad wasn't there. But Grandpa was, and Jeremy, and all the cousins who'd stood together when it mattered. Your mother would be so proud, Grandpa said, adjusting my cap. I hope so, I said. I know so. He smiled. You stood up for yourself. You protected what was yours. And you did it with class. I forwarded an email, Grandpa. That's all. You forwarded the truth, he corrected. And sometimes, Layla Bird, that's the most powerful thing you can do. He was right. One email, sent in anger and hurt, had unraveled years of deception, had revealed the true cost of choosing potential over promise, of sacrificing one child's future for another's fantasies. Dad had given my college fund to my stepbrother, thinking family meant blind sacrifice. But I'd learned family meant something else entirely. Family meant protecting each other, not from consequences, but from those who would steal their futures. Family meant choosing hard truths over comfortable lies. And sometimes family meant forwarding one email that changed everything.